So I feel like this is a good opportunity for a lot of countries to actually build their own LLMs and be able to fund their own research, like have a lot more people contribute to an AI or an LLM that serves the local people instead of the general population, which is predominantly English. So the design forum is to reach out and let them know that there's a lot of other Khmer designers around the world who are in this kind of field, and we're trying to come together to come back to Cambodia and host more educational workshops that are more affordable, because design education in Cambodia is very expensive.
Okay, let's get started. Finally. Hello, Sokai. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good. So where are you now currently?
I'm currently in Atlanta, Georgia, United States.
I see. The reason why I found you, it was 3 years ago, and then just super coincidentally, I found you by Instagram. Do you remember?
I remember I posted a CD that my friend bought for me of Moritaka Chisato, and then you commented on it, which is super cool. She's one of my favorite singers from Japan from the 90s.
Me too. So yeah, you have so many unique background. So maybe first of all, I have many questions, but first of all, many listener want to know about you. So could you please tell us about yourself? What do you do in Atlanta?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Sokai. I am a visual designer. I graduated from Savannah College of Art and Design as my bachelor's, and I got my master's in New York. And I'm an ex-Googler. I used to work at Google for 6 years at Google Cloud as well as Android. And I freelance in many different places such as GQ, Atlantic Records, Warner Music, Mad Decent Records, and a plethora of other companies. But in Atlanta right now, I'm currently doing some design consulting work, and I'm also reconnecting with my Cambodian roots. So I'm doing a lot of design work, using my Cambodian style, using integrating Cambodian culture, trying to find ways to kind of define what design in Cambodia looks like.
This year, you are visiting to Cambodia, correct?
Yes. I used to go to Cambodia with my mom when I was a lot younger, but last year was my first time going by myself, and to Phnom Penh, which is the capital of Cambodia. I've never been. It was my first time going, and so ever since I went, kind of changed my perspective on design in Southeast Asia. And I've noticed how, I won't say behind, but there's a lack of design education and resources for a lot of Cambodians, especially who are going into the design industry. And I want to come back more often to help host workshops or try to do as much as I can to get Cambodian designers in Cambodia up to speed on what the industry standards are, and to catch up with what the new design paradigms. This is just my opinion. If you look at Japanese design, you look at the typography, you look at the graphic styling, you look at some of the artwork, that's the illustration style. It's clearly Japanese. You can tell there's a certain style. There's a lot of cultural integrations into Japanese design. So when you see a mixture of kanji and you see katakana together, oh, this is Japanese. You can easily tell what the content of this particular design is. But in Cambodia, there's a lack of, even in history, Cambodia has a history of a design system. We have a grid system, we have foundations, but a lot of the new students are in the modern design world in Cambodia, they don't really follow that. So it's kind of hard to tell what is Khmer and what is more Western inspired design. And a lot of the designs I see out of Cambodia are very Western inspired, because they believe that that's the trend, and what I want to do is I want to help Cambodians find a creative eye and help redefine Cambodian design. So when you come to Cambodia, you can say, oh, like this is Cambodian design. But currently, we don't see that. Even in the UI UX, good UI UX in Cambodia comes from a different country. Like there's a app called Grab, which is like Uber for Southeast Asia, but it's I think it's like a Singaporean company or Indonesian company. I can't remember, but it's definitely not Cambodian. And there's a Cambodian alternative called Pass App, and it's not the best designed app. It's very functional, but it could definitely use a lot of improvements to help Cambodian people as well as tourists who come to Cambodia to use it more because of the way it's designed. It's not the way it's communicated. A lot of tourists kind of avoid Pass App and they kind of lean towards Grab, which is more design focused and more oriented towards accessibility when it comes to accessibility in general.
I see. Thank you. So speaking of accessibility, if I remember correctly, you told me that when using, for example, iPhone and to text someone in Cambodian alphabet, it's super complicated, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Please share about this story. I love this story.
This is based off data from Facebook where it's a lot. I won't say it's difficult, but it's more difficult to type in Khmer. Khmer is the language of Cambodia, and it's a lot of people, they don't want to type a lot, so they usually record their voice and they use Messenger, but it's mostly audio clips of each other talking because it's a lot quicker to say what you want to say in Khmer through audio clip than typing it out because of how complicated the Khmer alphabet is. And that's and there are many ways to solve this. If there was like a modernized Cambodian alphabet, I think it would help solve some of those issues. But because a lot of the Khmer alphabet now is very traditional, we still follow a lot of traditional writings compared to like Thai or Vietnam. We see this complication happening a lot more often, and so we need and so that's why you have like every time I talk to my friends in Cambodia, they always use audio clips. They'll never write, they'll never type it out. And
I have a question.
yes.
Have you ever tried to use Karma for like ChatGPT or some large language model using Karma, Cambodian language, and then we can ask about Cambodian culture. For example, tell us about the popular festival in Cambodia in this year, like that. Have you ever tried?
So a lot of AI stuff is English. It's tend to be English focused. You won't see a lot of LLMs or local language models for like Cambodia, Thai, Laos, Vietnam, Vietnamese. There's no, I won't say there's like resources for that. You can definitely type it in English. You'll get general answers or questions. But when you type in fully in Khmer, sometimes ChatGPT won't understand, or like translations. When you type something in Japanese, for example, in Google Translate, sometimes it doesn't come out the right way, or sometimes it's very prescriptive, it's very literal. But when you try to have like some slang, or you talk, like colloquial like Khmer, or like how locals would speak, the translations come out very different how Google Translate does it, and it's the same way for ChatGPT. There's not enough data, or there's not enough people, especially in Cambodia, as well as other different countries, that have like local language support for that particular country. I know in India they're building their own LLM specifically for India. So I feel like this is a good opportunity for a lot of countries to actually build their own LLMs and be able to fund their own research, like have a lot more people contribute to an AI or an LLM that serves the local people instead of the general population, which is predominantly English. So if you say like, what are some fun events in Cambodia in English, like ChatGPT will know, because they can just they'll scrape wiki, they'll scrape all this other information. But when it comes to can you tell me the history about Cambodian tattoos? That a lot of that data is in Khmer, and so they don't know how to scrape that, or they don't know where to find that at. So when you type, because often when you type in Khmer tattoos or Cambodian tattoos, ChatGPT would just look for the word Cambodian tattoos, but you have to type it in Khmer to understand like the in-depth information about the history of it. But yeah, there's still some discrepancy with ChatGPT when trying to input Khmer into an AI or an AI engine.
I see. Thank you. So last week, 2 weeks ago, I was in Okinawa, and then I asked to local young people, "Hey, can you speak your like original language, like Ryukyu language?" So Okinawa used to be a independent country, not part of Japan, like Taiwan or Cambodia, totally different country, Ryukyu royal country, and then they still have old language or original language. But due to internet, TV, TikTok, YouTube, young people cannot speak.
Yeah.
And then, only like over people, like over 80 or 90 years old people, they can speak. So I thought I wish we have a Ryukyu Okinawa model, large language model, because language and culture is connecting, and then we have to like inheritance. So don't you think so?
No, I totally agree. This is a good opportunity for, especially like if we use Japan for example. I know like Hokkaido, you have like there's a certain like indigenous people in Hokkaido too, right? I think it's like the Ainu, right? And they speak a different language as well. And so we look at like the Ryukyu Islands and Okinawa. There's like specific cultural things that hasn't been influenced by Japan, but at the same time, like there's a lot that's been influenced by Japan. Same thing in Cambodia. Like there's Cham people, but you know the kingdom of Champa is no more. You know, it's been assimilated into Cambodia, and there's a lot of Cham culture that's influenced Cambodia and Vietnam. And then you have a lot of indigenous people that speak. Like they have their own alphabet, they have their own language, but they can also speak Khmer. So this is a good opportunity for, you know, for us, you know, who are in this realm to be able to start a group and reconnect with the older people, like learn their language, record, document, and then take that data and feed it into our own LLM that's operated by, you know, if it's like for Okinawa or for Hokkaido, like it should be run, researched and operated by, you know, the Japanese people or people who are from that area, so that they have control, they have agency over their, you know, that cultural data. And I want to do the same for Cambodia as well. Like go back and reconnect with a lot of the old people before they pass away. They have all this knowledge, they have all this cultural gems that they share with, you know, they share with people, but they don't share with the world because not many people go visit them, or not many people go and look for that particular sense of information. So for instance, for me, I'm building my own LLM in Cambodian dance, like traditional dance. And there's a lot of teachers that are like really, really old. They only know these particular like techniques or movesets. So when I'm in Cambodia this year, besides hosting a workshop and hosting a design forum, I'm actually going to go out and pay 2 master teachers who are like, they're good at, it's called Yek. I know in Japan it's Yasha, Daksha. Yeah. Ogre. And so their character of dance is called Yak or Yaksha, and they play like the demon role in like theater, in the Cambodian theater. And these are the last 2 master dancers who know a lot of the techniques that a lot of the younger students don't know. And so me and a friend, we're gonna go and document, talk to them, learn the technique, take pictures, take video, and hopefully, you know, when AI gets a lot better, like take that images, describe it, and then feed it into our own AI model. So when you do type it in Cambodian, like a certain technique in Cambodian, like it'll come like as is. Because right now, if you put in like Yet, you know, like Cambodian dancer in Yet costume, does not look anything like it. It tries its best to, AI tries its best to generate, but it comes out very, very wrong and like nothing like what you imagine. So this is a good way for me to reconnect with the community as well as the older generation, so I can help preserve that culture and that data.
Wonderful. Okay, so amazing project you have. So, okay, so these events are for local people or even like a foreigner to visit Cambodia can attend your event.
Yeah, it's open to everyone, but it's mainly focused towards the Cambodian population.
Mm.
It's me trying to reach out to the Cambodian design population or Cambodian designers in Cambodia to understand what do they know about design or what's currently what's currently the status quo in Cambodia, like what are some of the practices that Cambodian designers are doing. And I come to realize like a lot of them do a lot of traditional work like branding, logo, some graphics, some advertising design, but when it comes to UI, UX, web design, motion design, when it comes to like techniques such as iconography versus illustrations, using vectors or like using or working with developers to create an experience or a product, it's not there yet. I won't say it exists. It's just there's not enough of that particular kind of education or training for a lot of Khmer people to be able to reach that particular level of design. And so the design forum is to reach out and let them know that there's a lot of other Khmer designers around the world who are in this kind of field, and we're trying to come together to come back to Cambodia and host more educational workshops that are more affordable, because design education in Cambodia is very expensive, and certain schools they offer less than okay level of design education. It's very rudimentary. Like they don't teach you grid, they don't teach you type hierarchy, they don't teach you like design foundations as they should. But it costs a lot for the average Cambodian person, and so we want to. A lot of Khmer designers like me and other Khmer designers from around the world, we want to come back and just host design workshops for $2 to $3. You just come in and we'll teach you everything you like they need to know to get them up to speed, so that if I want to hire a Cambodian designer in America or even in Japan or in another country, they're well prepared. Because right now what I see is if I hire a Cambodian designer from Cambodia to work at Google or Android, they won't survive 1 week. So we need to I'm trying to find ways to help bridge that gap without having them pay a lot of money, because I want them to experience what the design world offers now compared to inside of Cambodia. Because if you look at design in Japan, China, you look at design in Thailand even, there's a sense of quality and there's a sense of sustainability. What I mean by that is designers and creators can make they can make a living off of this, but in Cambodia it's very hard, because the pay is not good. And I want to find ways where I want to find ways where I can make Cambodian designers earn a lot more money, so that they have the resources they need to continue their design education, but as well as being able to get more clients from outside of Cambodia, or say for instance like other companies from around the world who are coming into Cambodia to establish a market to hire Cambodian designers rather than hiring like a European agency to do the design work in Cambodia.
Wonderful, amazing. You are so passionate to help Cambodian people who want to improve, who want to earn money in all over the world.
Yeah, thank you. There's a lot of talented creatives out there, especially in there's creative people everywhere around the world, but in Cambodia, I feel like they're being limited because of accessibility. For example, like it's so expensive to buy a camera. Like it requires someone like 5-6 years to be able to buy like a decent camera to help them pursue some of their design goals, or getting a tablet, like a graphics tablet, a Wacom tablet, or even software. It's really expensive because Adobe doesn't sell their products in Cambodia. So a lot of Cambodians have to say they're from Australia or a different country to be able to purchase Adobe products. But even so, Adobe products are like $600 a year, and that's like their salary for the entire year. So it makes it very difficult for a lot of Khmer designers to be able to afford the software they need to be able to, just keep up with today's industry standards. So I really want to go in and be one of the people to help figure out those problems and how to solve it. And since I live in America, like talk to Adobe, talk to like Google, talk to these tech companies and say, hey, how do we fix this this gap in design for Cambodia, and how do we get Cambodia up to speed in today's design standards, as well as help these students who don't have access to these design resources. How can I help them be able to get access to the software and the equipment that they need, so that they can learn on a level of other design students around the world.
Wonderful, amazing. Yeah, you are right. So if our listener want to know your information of events or your amazing artworks, maybe like following your Instagram and LinkedIn is best place.
Yes, Instagram is probably the best place. It's the only place where I actually am active. It's at Sokai, Sokai, Yoon, Yoon. I'm always open to direct messages or just talking to people, so feel free to reach out.
Okay, Sokai, wonderful. Thank you so much for your wonderful time. I would love to interview you again soon.
Oh yes, no, anytime. It's always amazing to talk to you.
Thank you so much. Okay, talk soon. Bye bye.
Talk soon. Thank you.